Yeah, well, today got the first interview of the year. Beepa Tha King, an extraordinary independent artist at the moment, hailing from Valdosta, but worldwide with the music, doing numbers on streaming platforms, and an outstanding citizen in this community, all that good stuff. Very likable character. Everybody knows him, man of the people and everything. Very fortunate to have him here today, giving us a little insight on what's going on with him and what he's been up to and everything. So like I said, today, Beepa Tha King. So I would definitely like to know, man, what first drew you to hip hop and when did you start taking it seriously?
As looking at, as I was younger, looking at the many different artists that was coming out, and I was just inspired by a lot of artists such as Tupac, Ice Cube, Bone Thugs and Harmony. I really didn't start taking it seriously like maybe a good 10 years ago, maybe like 2015. I was always doing music my whole life, but to know that I can have financial wealth from it, I just started taking it serious about a good 10 years ago, and it's been going pretty great for me for the time being.
You got a very interesting name, man. Like, what's the meaning behind or the story behind your rap name, your persona?
Yeah, Beepa Tha King, man. Well, it was Beepa as a growing up. I was like, as my auntie, God rest her soul, she would tell the story. I was like anywhere from a month or 2 months old, and every time she would, she'll rock me to sleep or however, and as she put me down, she'll lay me down. About two, three minutes later, I'm whining, I guess want to be held again. So she say she'll put me back to sleep, put me back down. 2-3 minutes later, I'm going off again. So she say, that boy go off every 2 to 3, 5 minutes like a beeper. That's what we're gonna call him. We're gonna call him Beeper. So I mean, I got the name from my auntie, something that I didn't develop out in the street. So as I getting older doing music, I was calling myself Lil Beeper. And so, as having a conversation with shout out to Ren Rock, Pastor Ren, he was like, you don't got older now, so Lil Beeper, we need to put Lil Beeper to the side. He was like, call yourself Strata Boy, that's my last name. That's the name of my my music group, my music label, Strata Game Music. And I was like, nah, it ain't ring a bell. I didn't want to steer away from the name that I already had, was Beepa. So I just put the King at the end of Beepa because that's what I am. That's what I know I am, a king. So I put Beepa Tha King at the end of Beepa, and that's what it is. But I got the name from my Auntie Shirley, God rest her soul. Yeah, she say she go off every 5 minutes like a beeper, man.
Right. Another question, man. Like, listening to your music, like just throughout the years and stuff, like it's a very unique sound and very creative. So my question is, can you describe your creative process? Like, where do you usually find inspiration for your lyrics and beat selections?
Very interesting question. The inspiration comes from things I go through, things that I see other people go through. My older sister, Mel, God rest her soul, she was telling me I got to find something that defines me instead of trying to look what the people may like. So me going through different genres of music or instrumentals that I was looking for, or producers I was going through, I always try to find something that defined me as a person, something that I can relate to, and hopefully the people can relate to. My creative process is, like I said, things that I don't went through, and deep thought, deep emotion, of certain things.
For you, what would you say is the most challenging part of being an independent artist so far?
Everything that that you're doing, is basically on your own if you don't have a team. The production, the engineering, the production, the promotion of it, the branding, making sure you have your back office correct, like copyrights, registration, coding. Being an independent artist that's a lot of things that that we must go through, where every artist has to go through it. But doing it independently, it's a lot of tedious things that you have to do to make sure your paperwork and everything is in order. So that'll be one of the most challenging things, as being an independent artist, doing everything yourself.
Okay. How would you describe your sound to someone who never heard your music before?
Oh man, my sound is, I got that sound, very unique, very different. I don't sound like nobody, I sound like myself. To the Beepa Tha King of cadence is extraordinary. I can get on any track. I don't sound the same on every track that I do, every project that I create. My sound is impeccable, very impeccable, and I think it's, once the rest of the world get introduced to it, I think I'll be an artist that, they embrace with open arms. So yeah, got that sound, man.
Do you have a favorite track or project you've released? And if so, like what makes it so special?
Stand on It. I got a project called Stand on It. My older brother was murdered like 7, 8 years ago, and the day that he died, where he got murdered, however, within 24 hours of his passing, I went to the studio and released a song called Stand On It, which it was on another beat other than the one that I put out with it now. And that was a good inspiring song that I did. I was able to release the pain and the emotions that I had. Out of all the projects I done did, that's the most touching project to me. It means a lot to me. All the other music that I have done, it was it was just good projects to do, not following a trend or a wave of other people. But Stand On It is very real, very, very emotional, and it took a lot out of me to do it. But I did it. I performed it at his funeral, and I wasn't gonna do it. But when I went to his wake or whatever, it seemed like he leaned up out the casket and told me, it was like, hey, you gonna perform that song. You're gonna be one of the first rappers that he ever knowed of to rap at somebody's funeral. And so Stand On It is a song that really touched me, and I hope that the people that listen to it, they can get the feeling and the emotions where I was coming from, understand the story, and like the song like I do.
What's your dream collaboration, dead or alive, if you have a dream collaboration?
Man, dead or alive?
Yes, sir.
My brother for number one. One time for the Jacob Boy the Kid, R.I.P. to him, my brother. We collaborated on many tracks, and he really bring the best out of me. I didn't really get into Nipsey Hussle until his passing. So Nipsey Hussle, Tupac, Nas, Jeezy, T.I., a person that always been on my side with me. Love to collaborate with him all the time. Nino the Trap Star, that's my second oldest brother, and my CEO, which you see, I don't like to do music too tough, but my CEO, Young King Gunny. So those are my, my collabs that I would love to do music with.
How do you go about approaching marketing and getting your music out to new listeners without a major label backing you right now?
I have a couple things that I like to do. I like to get on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, show studio etiquette, and have maybe the instrumental behind promoting the single that I'm finna get ready to drop. Trying to get it to the people, putting it out there in a way to where it's, have the anticipation of it. Just try to keep the momentum and anticipation going forward. So therefore, once I get ready to drop the single or the album, I done build up the anticipation with my fans to they'll be ready to jump on as soon as I say that it's dropping. you know.
Okay. What's been your most memorable performance to date and why?
I have to say when I was at the club Palladium in Valdosta, Georgia. Shouts out to LA Boom, man. He was the host of the show. We had Young Dro to come to perform at the club, and I was just really trying to get my feet wet with the music, or however, and so I noticed Young Dro DJ was walking past. I think his name was DJ Fat. He wear glasses, and I walked up on him, even though the music was pretty loud in the club. I walked up on him. I was like, "Yo, is it possible for me to get get a card from you, any contact information to whereas, after this club scene, I can reach out to you guys?" He would say, "Quarter? I ain't got no quarter." I was like, "No, a card." And a business card. He put both his hands on my shoulder and pushed me out the way and said, "Man, I ain't got no card." So what happened was, when it was my time to perform, I was furious, I was hot, because I ain't never been brushed off like that, So I had a whole bunch of anger within me, because I really wanted to say something to the guy, but I just let it pass or whatever. So I get on stage, and I did a song called Swag and another song called Shut the Club Down. So as I perform both of my tracks or whatever, I really did an amazing job. So after my last song, I dropped the microphone. Boom. LA Boom, man, went up there and, picked up the microphone. He was like, "Hey, I got Young Dro in the building." It's like I stole the crowd's energy or however. So he was like, "Man, I got Young Dro in the building. Y'all don't want to see Young Dro?" As I'm walking off the stage, going back to where my sisters done was, because they was waiting on me to come off the stage, here come DJ Fat, Young Dro DJ. He was like, hey, man, hey, give me your number so I can put my number in your phone, man. I want to keep in touch with you. I did the same thing he did to me. I moved him out my way and told my brother, I said, "Hey, man, put that nigga number in your phone, man, so we'll call him later." So tables turned real quick. The table turned around real quick, but it was just amazing to me, because I needed that energy that he gave me before I went on, for me to do more than my best, and it showed, because not only did I gain his attention, but I also stole the crowd's energy, because I gave them so much of a greater performance. It was amazing, great outcome. A lot of people shook my hand as I walking off the stage. A lot of people, was asking, for my number, besides Young Dro DJ, for collaboration and things of that nature. But that's my most memorable moment and the best moment I ever had.
Okay. What's some of the biggest lessons you learned about the music industry so far?
Number one, having everything, your paperwork, all that in order. Number one. Number two, not to trust everything that you hear that's coming from people that's saying that they can do this, saying that they can do that. Another thing, shout out to TJ Chapman, TJ DJ. He gave me a good lesson, things that he told me to do, like as a keep working, don't never stop working. But, going back to the first and the second thing that I said, is having your paperwork in order, man, having everything that you're doing in within your music, have everything in order, every T crossed, every I dotted, and don't trust everything anybody tell you that can't produce what they talking.
How do you handle constructive criticism and setbacks?
I just keep going forward with it. Because everything that I do or say ain't gonna be liked by everybody. So once I feel or see that, I just continue to keep going forward, and don't let it put me in a position to where it has me down, so I don't really, fold up under pressure when it comes to that.
Gotcha. What are some of your goals for the next year, both musically and professionally?
Professionally, I I want to get my start on my own trucking company. You know, really get more in depth into real estate, and actually really take it to the peak with my music. Really, you know, because music, I live, breathe, sleep music, man. Music bleed out of my veins, so music is my first love. So I would love to accomplish everything that I can accomplish with the music.
If you can give one piece of advice to aspiring independent artists, what would it be?
Stay yourself, stay creative, stay working. Bet on yourself, and just stay grounded with what you're doing. Just stay grounded, man. Don't never give up, because no matter how old you are, however many songs the projects that you make, it's gonna be that one song that take you where you need to go. So don't never give up. Stay grounded.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
On top of the world. Be honest with you. Doing everything that I need and want to do. I feel that my opportunity is coming faster with this music. I feel my approach is getting closer. So within 5 years, I see myself really on top of my game, you know, and doing things a lot better than I normally used to do. So financially wealthy, my kids will be in a position of financial support like need to be. So yeah, I'll be on top of my game in the next 5 years. I know it. I see it, feel it.
What's one thing that you would like your current and future fans to know about you?
I'ma keep coming. I ain't gonna let you down. You know, I'ma keep producing, you know, coming up with new, better projects. Never gonna be the same. I'ma always be that lovable artist that you like, lovable artist that you love to see. You know, y'all is my backbone, and I'ma keep, you know, pushing out better material for y'all because y'all make me better. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it coming for my fans, man.
What can listeners expect from you next? Like, do you have any upcoming projects or performances you can tease?
Yes, I have this project coming up. It's called Paris Nights. And really with this album that I'm working on, I stepped away from the people and started to focus on Beepa, the music that Beepa really wanted to make. Because my previous projects, I made music for basically my audience, and the songs I felt like that needed to be out there for them. But this album here in particular, I'm getting more in depth with my emotions, you know, my feelings, or however, and just stepping away from what I think people want to hear. I'm giving them what they need to hear on this project. Basically, the inside of like basically walking in my shoes, basically really opening up the front door so you can see everything about Beepa. I'm letting everything unfold within this album that I'm doing. It's a pretty fun album. Got some nice tracks, and I call it Cadillac or highway music. This the an album that, you know, on your way out of town, you pop this in, you're gonna listen to it from track 1 to track 10. I think put 10 tracks on it. So this album here, Paris Nights, man, I think it's about to be one of my best bodies of work that I put forth, projects that I put forth.
Okay. In closing, is there anything like we haven't touched on that you would just like to put out there?
We touched on everything, but do be on the lookout for Beepa Tha King new album, man. Paris Nights. You can reach me on all social media platforms at Beepa Tha King, BeepaThaKing, everywhere. You can use that to get on to find me on any platform. And other than that, I see y'all at the top, man.
All right. You know, I noticed, I follow you online and everything, and I know sometimes you go live and sometimes you go live with other creators online, and I noticed one live where the discussion was around what was going on right now with the whole Diddler, with Diddy. And not that he is dealing with anything that would relate to anything that's going on with your life, or you personally, professionally, or personally, or whatever. But is there anything that you can take from his situation that might better your lines of thinking, or how you might act in the industry, or just your everyday life? Or is there any takeaways that you can apply to your daily journey?
Yeah, continue to stay to myself. Don't put myself in positions that to where it'll damage my reputation as a person and as an artist. Like I say, man, is that situation there is a very learnable situation. And me, like I say, the person that I am, I would stay away from any kind of involvements that got to deal with things that's gonna put you in a negative light towards the people. So yeah, I hope he can get himself out of that situation. On with right is right, wrong is wrong, but some of the things that I'm hearing about it, that's just an everyday lifestyle for a person. But me in particular, like I would just won't have myself involved with no type of situations like that. I got one woman. I don't need a lot of different women to make me feel like the person I need to feel. So yeah, nah, man.
Right on. Going through your catalog, you have songs like Gucci Bag, and then you got songs like Vice President is Black. My question is, what style do you gravitate to more? Like, we hear you. You got a wide range of material. You
Right.
definitely rap about personal experiences, like some loved ones that have gone on and passed, and we hear about you rapping about things related to, people would say, the streets or what have you. And then we hear tracks like Vice President is Black, something that can be considered a little political. What do you like the most? Like, what topics do you like to stay on the most, or is there any specific topics that really get you going as an artist?
It's no specific topics, man. It's just like whatever I see at the time, or basically I just let the beat drive me to the direction I need to be in. So that's why I say I'm just all around all purpose artist, man. Like I'm not no gangster rapper, but can. I'm not no drill rapper, but can. You know, I just feel like I'm just an all-purpose artist. So that's the reason why I say my music, for each track, each project that I put out, it's gonna always be different from the last. Yeah, it's the same voice on it, but nowadays you can put an artist material on from the first song to the last. Every song sounds the same. Not my projects, man. I got an album that I put out called First Class Flight Volume 1, and it's just a whole bunch of different songs that I just been doing, and I just put them all, just bunched them all on one album. The album don't have directions, but it's giving you different insights. So like, man, he can do this, he can do that, so I can't really put myself in, categorize myself what type of artist I am. I just say I'm all purpose, man.